Hello everyone, welcome to IASP 525 Database Security. In your current catalog, this course is entitled Distributed Databases and Security, but we changed the title to this um, Database Security, which means um, in the graduate level, we do not have a database course. Of course, we do not have distributed databases. So without knowing database technologies, distributed database uh, it doesn't make sense. And also, there are not much work um, to be done in distributed databases alone without knowing databases, and also further discussion about security. Um, so we changed the title just for your understanding. Before we get started, this course has prerequisite. I know um, you might not have um, the prerequisite like this. Um, but those who have the prerequisites, like database design concepts, or a little bit of programming skills, general idea about security and privacy issues, then it would be great. Um, but although you do not have these prerequisites already fulfilled, I want you to uh, keep this in mind that this course assumes that you know a little bit about these prerequisites. Of course, when it comes to such issues, I'm going to introduce to you in certain level of the knowledges and skills that should be sufficient for you to understand uh, the issues here at database security. The format of this class, of course, online. Slides will be posted on Blackboard, um, and video clips like this time. I'm trying to record my lecture, but in some cases, if I believe there's no extra or verbal explanation needed, then I just post it so you can read the material. Uh, Only if it is sufficient, then then we go that way. And also we uh, will have a hands-on lab. Right now, there may be two ways that we can do a hands-on lab. We have a lab at Dobbs Ferry campus. Um, of course, we have the servers. Uh, we have one production server and four other or three other the lab servers. But those who are, I mean, all of you needs to access the server through the internet. Then, therefore, we need to have static IP uh, and modems, routers, switches, firewall, all such network hardware and software uh, are needed and fully configured. Hopefully, that'll be done anytime soon. Um, but right now, it's not yet done. So we have a server-based hands-on. And also, I want you to have your own laptop. So on your own um, bring your own device, right? Your own laptop. Um, you can work on your own laptop. How? Don't worry about it right now. We'll get to that point maybe in next slides. This course requires the homework assignments. So we will have hands-on exercises. Once you have lab, then based on the lab, I want you to do some of the exercises. And since this is a graduate course, um, your goal is not just to follow the course material, but uh, to gain some capabilities of catching up uh, the technologies and concept developed in the leading edge. Um, Not only during this course period, but in your life, you need to follow up on your own, right? So, so while you are in the program, I want you to um, have some capabilities of reviewing research papers. So that is also required in this lecture. Good news is that there's no exam. Okay, so then how can uh, yours be evaluated? All details are shown in your syllabus, so please read the syllabus very, very carefully. If I remember, uh, then um, you will have some homework assignments and semester projects. I think homework assignments maybe 45% and semester project 50% and 5% is participations. Okay, all details should be uh, uh, in the syllabus and will follow the syllabus. Okay, if my verbal explanation uh, uh, is not consistent with the syllabus, then you need to follow the syllabus. And I will also, from time to time, look up the syllabus and, and try to be in accordance with the syllabus content. One of the requirements of this class is the semester projects. Group project is recommended, but not really uh, mandated. Some of you cannot find your partner, then you could do alone. Okay, although you do alone, although you do this semester project alone, not much disadvantages. Only yours will be uh, graded based upon quality uh, um, and some others. So rubrics, evaluation rubrics will be um, introduced to you. Basically, the way that I evaluate your project is two things. Well, actually three, but basically uh, the topics, the quality of the topics. Someone may choose hard topics. Someone may choose easy topics. Of course, a hard topic will gain. Will have more credits. That is true, right? If a group project, then of course the topic will be more um, significant would therefore will gain more credits. Meanwhile, I'm going to also evaluate uh, your accomplishment. There's some trade-offs between the significance, topic significance, and uh, quality accomplishment. If a topic is easy, then relatively you may achieve some real good contribution more and better, right? If you have hard topics, then it's very hard to achieve, but still you could do some achievement. So both are uh, graded. And third point is um, um, the organization of your reports. For example, your reports should be written and should be demonstrated verbally. So verbal presentation, both verbal presentation and written documents are required. Of course, written documents are more and more important. But all before we go all such, you need to do proposal. Proposal is 10 points. Okay. See here, total 45. Wait a minute, is it 45? Okay, 45. 30, 10, 30, wait a minute, 40 and 55. Hmm. I want you to look up the syllabus. Okay. So proposal 10 points, 10 points. Okay, which means, yeah, out of 100 points. Due is June 29th, midnight. Written reports by the end of this semester, so July 31st. And, and as you submit the written documents, you also need to do oral presentation. Um, Someone may ask, how can we do present verbally? Um, because this is online, there's no physical face-to-face meeting, so you can find the better way at your situation. But one of uh, the doable way of your oral presentation is that you can record your own presentation and post it on the YouTube, for example, and give me the URL. Then I can access your URL. Here, one critical issue is that you have to make sure that your URL should be available. If it is not available, when I grade, you do not get credits. If it is not available, of course, I'm going to make a screenshots telling that it is not available. It's not available if you do not open it to public, of course. Then clearly it says it is private, then I cannot access it, therefore you don't get any, I cannot grade yours, you don't get any credits, okay? So it is your responsibility. You have to make presentation on your own and post it on your YouTube and give me the URL so that I need grade it. You have to leave it there open till I grade. So roughly after this July 31st, and I need to uh, submit the final uh, grade report to the college in a few days. So at maximum, I think if you leave your video open till August August, mid-August, then definitely grading is done. After that, you don't need to. Another thing that when you use YouTube, you have to make sure that yours, all the materials should be your own material. If there is any uh, materials, digital uh, objects copied from somewhere, then because this is a public, uh, someone may file a lawsuit against you because there is a copyright issue. Okay, so please make sure that all the materials should be your own when you have this. Written reports, all guidelines are also available in the syllabus. So you have to follow that. But in this written documents, I'm going to give the credits to the person who has more work. How can I know? I do not know unless you say. So I want you to say, whatever you write, for example, some sections, if that is approach 1 and approach 2, then you can say approach 1. In that section, you need to say by John Yoon, for example. And another section, you can say by Adam Smith. Another one, system architecture, you can say by Eric Cooper. Implementation 1 by Emily, or implementation 2 then by Hillary, for example. Okay, so you need to say that. In that way, I can give credits. If there is no nothing, then no credits based upon that section. All right. So written reports about 30 points and oral presentation 15 points. Written is more important, right? But accurate numbers should refer to the syllabus. Topics to cover in this course is the theory and an exercise, hands-on exercise. Okay. In theory, we will start with database design and security management. And then we can go deeper, a little deeper, user identity management, which means a little bit of logins, right? So more realistic issue for user identity is login and authentication. And data ontologies, we're talking about database, so there's a collection of data, and there are maybe issues that what do you mean by this data? Okay. If certain data item that is in certain table, which is in certain database, therefore it means clearly something, right? That is ontology issues. And then we will talk about access control policies by looking at your user identity and data. Then we need to link them. This particular data can be read by this user. Of course, I do not want my data to be seen by someone who I do not like, right? So such things needs to be controlled, and and for that implementation, we need to set up the policies. And then there is some database attack. So we'll look at that. Once data attacked, your database compromised, then there may be something that we need to audit, right? We call that audit. Audit to see if your data is consistent. If there is any modification, then of course database may not be consistent. By auditing, we can see, oh, there's just something happened. And also vulnerability assessment will be discussed. Hands-on exercises. We'll start with very fundamental and basic techniques of databases, which is database creation. I know some of you done already database creation. Maybe in MySQL, right, which is common and easy to use. This course we'll look at Oracle database, so which has provides more capabilities, um, more security management, more clear and consistent database management. Okay, so we'll look at Oracle. So how can you create database in Oracle DBMS? Okay, that is first exercise. Once you create your own database, say that is your database, payroll database or customer database, Amazon database where there are a lot the items to sell, or whatever you say. Okay, so you have a database. Then the user to database, user to user groups to your database needs to be defined so that you can define, hey, John Smith, you can come to my database, but only the read privileges, which means you cannot modify my database. And also user ID creation is based upon the user interface. If you allow web server to access your database, then the user can come through web pages only. User cannot come to your database through the shell level. Okay, shell means like operating system levels. If you give operating system level privilege to user, then user could do much more work than you expect. But anyway, all such things needs to be handled depending upon the characteristics of a database, and also depending upon user requirements, depending upon system requirements. Once you have user groups, then you can grant privileges. So it may say, hey, these groups can come to my database and read this small set of my database. This group of people can come to my database and modify another small sets. Or this group of users can come to my database and a lot more work. So such things needs to be specified clearly. We call that privilege grants. And at some points, revocation may be needed, right? Once you grant a privilege to a user for some reason, you can say, hey, I'm going to revoke your privileges. That is also very, very important. Revocation is really, really important. In many cases, for example, at Mercy College, we have a lot of adjunct uh, professors, right? Uh, Till some semesters, adjunct can come and do some work and receive emails and uh, uh, Mercy Connect access and Mercy mail server access. All such things possible, but I'm not sure how often um, the adjunct professors' privileges are reassessed, and therefore their privileges will be revoked. Okay, data in the database, although they have some grants to access, it doesn't mean that they can immediately read the data. At some points, we want to encrypt it. So when they issue SQL statements, then it can display the content of the database. We can show all the data, but for example, payroll information, pay data. Okay, that type of things can be encrypted or decrypted. And also, I'm going to set the semester project week, which is the last week of this semester, from July 1st, 21st and July 31st. During this time period, if you a group, then you can meet physically and write your written documents, and also hopefully you can make a oral presentation, so and then record it and make it available on the internet so that I can grade it. Okay. So last week is fully allocated for you to accomplish your semester projects. Free, you will have the freedom to create any program you want for database security. So topic is free. You need to choose the topic. So if you choose the hard topic, then more points. And also if you accomplish it reasonable level to the reasonable level, then another good points. Okay. If you choose each topic and also accomplish it, but each topic, therefore you have less credits. Accomplishment, reasonable, okay, that much you can get credits. Altogether, that is your grade. Okay. All right.